What was this blink and you miss it moment with Uro? Who exactly is she? What is her connection with Yuta? And why does she hate him so much? Let's talk about it. So first of all, Uro is a reincarnated sorcerer, which means she's from the past. And that narration that flew by on the screen was filling us in on some of her backstory. So the first portion said, the Sun, Moon, and Star Squad was the Fujiwara's clan of personal assassins. They lived in darkness and served with selfless devotion. They were even forbidden from having their own names. Then the next bit of text that goes across the screen says, "Yet that man once granted me a name so that he could execute me instead for his crime of slaying his own kin." Okay, so there is a whole lot to unpack from those two statements. Essentially, Uro is revealing that back from her original life, she was from a caste that was beneath the Fujiwara clan. So much so that she served them as a tool. She was an assassin for them, the leader of the Sun, Moon, and Star Squad. But her role was merely that of a tool, so much so that she wasn't even given a name. So obviously she holds a lot of resentment toward that family. And because they were just born with a different name, they were born with these blessings. They had a such better life than her. As if that wouldn't be enough to hate the Fujiwara, this goes deeper. Because Uro reveals that she was given a name, but not as a sign of respect, not as a sign for doing well as an assassin, but because they framed her for a murder. Someone in the Fujiwara clan killed one of their own family members, and instead of taking the fall for that, they pinned it on Uro giving her a name in that moment, in order to accuse her of that crime. So why is she connecting this to Yuta? Well, it's because he reminds her of the Fujiwara for one reason or another. Maybe a resemblance, maybe in the mannerisms of how he acts, but it is evoking that in her. We can see that when this moment happens in the manga, she is explicitly remembering that member of the Fujiwara clan that framed her for that murder. But this is why she hates Yuta, because he reminds her of the Fujiwara, because he has an incredibly powerful technique and shikigami, and he has friends and loved ones. Like from their earlier conversation, she hates him because he's blessed. And this is the crux of what Yuta and Ryu's conversation is at the end of the episode. Because Yuta understands how Uro feels about him, and Yuta knows that he is blessed, and so nothing he says is going to get through to her. Because he's coming from a position of privilege compared to her. Now, obviously, Yuta doesn't know her full history or anything, but he can understand that she doesn't have any loved ones. That's why the earlier conversation he was like, "Why are you even out here fighting?" He knows that he's not going to get through to her by way of his position compared to hers.
誰かのために生きる。何者にもなる必要はない。そうやって嘘吹くのはいつだって何者かになったものだ。